Hello everyone, welcome to History with Hersefat. I'm your host Chris, aka Hersefat. Today I'll be conversing with a couple of workin' Joes about the year that was 1991. The views shared on this podcast come from your everyday ordinary people. My hope is that it'll give a unique perspective on history. Future podcasts, we're going to be doing the beneficial sounds of music and the year 1992. Going to keep the 90s, the decade, rolling right along. As right now, we actually have a new guest today for this week. This on the podcast. Our brother John. John has joined us, and as we do, we give him the 10 questions. We grill him. So without further ado, John, if you're there.
Yeah, I was just waiting.
Okay, sorry. Just making sure everything was good. Yeah, but we'll start off with the first one. We'll go. What is your favorite word?
What is my favorite word? Fuck it, I guess. I don't know. Just kind of like, yeah, whatever, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe whatever.
Yeah, whatever's fine. I mean,
yeah.
I don't say whatever like the, you know, how like kids do nowadays, like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like kind of a meh, like yeah.
More of a
it is what it is.
It's a stoic whatever.
Yeah, it's a stoic.
You know,
whatever.
You know,
like
okay.
I'm laid back, you know.
Yeah. You're chill, very chill. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your least favorite word?
Oh, sometimes it's dad because my kids don't stop, you know, but
What's that's hilarious.
no, I love my kids.
Oh no, I get it. But it's so funny because everyone's like, I can't wait for my child to call me father, and yours is not so. You know what? It's actually not as.
Sometimes you hate your own.
It's not that great.
No, I don't know. Work, I guess. I don't know.
Least favorite word. Work.
I'm so tired of it, man. Like,
no, gotcha.
There's on 40, and I already feel like I've done enough.
Yeah. There's no wrong answers here. So far so good. What is your favorite sound?
What's my favorite? Well, as a father, sometimes it's silence. But
yes.
I don't know, just kind of like I've been really into like Nordic music and stuff like that, and so like the deep oh, you know, like when they're singing in the background like that, or like some drums and just boom with it. Yeah, that's pleasing. That or just like a thunderstorm.
Okay, yeah,
I love that.
Yeah. So something like in The Hobbit, like when they're singing that Misty Mountain song.
A little bit,
like
but
that.
I'm actually gonna go see a group in Chicago on the 13th, and their
what are they called?
Heilung.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Where are they from?
Over in Europe. Yeah,
somewhere in Europe.
Nice.
Okay, nice. What is your least favorite sound?
What is my least favorite sound? Like that can also be silence, honestly, if you're a
dad.
Right, yeah, that's true.
High pitched like screams from children. Like
Gotcha.
I love my kids, but when I do that's a no.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. What is your favorite curse word? Can be in any language, of course.
I just fuck, I guess. I don't know. Like I use it too much.
No, that's
and when I'm really pissed off, I'll say cunt, but you know, whatever.
No.
My wife gets mad when I say that around the boys. So she's like, watch it.
Yeah. Do they ever pick that up and bring it to school? You
know? Not that one, but other things.
Okay, gotcha.
I mean, when they're here, they're allowed to say whatever the hell they want, but as long
sure.
as they're not like saying it in a mean way to anyone. So
right, gotcha. What profession, other than the one you're doing right now, what profession would you love to do? If you could do anything, what would you love to do?
Making content for YouTube or streaming or whatever like that. Something that's fun.
Yeah.
Or
over a particular subject, anything that you like in particular in that regard, or just like a whole wide group of subjects that you could give your time to?
Well, I mean, my hobbies are video games and etc. So yeah, I mean, it'd be over that stuff or anything really that I find interesting.
Okay. Other than the profession you're doing now, what would you not like to do?
Anything Mike Rowe did on Dirty Jobs.
Okay.
Any one of those jobs, no, thank you.
No dirty jobs.
Like, none of them sound appetizing.
Right.
I think he did.
Fun.
I think he did one that was a streamer. I think it won. Yeah. No.
I mean, unless the guy's in a a kiddie pool like with mud or something streaming, then that could be dirty.
So your idea
hot tubs and pools. Yeah.
So your theory is it's a dirty job, and you're glad someone else is going to do it.
Exactly. Okay. Let them work away. I'll do.
Won't be you. Yeah, gotcha. No. Okay. Yeah.
My job's plenty dirty that I do anyway. From time to time. So
what lifts your spirits? What elates you? What gets your juices flowing?
Makes
you really happy.
Well, my kids.
Yeah.
I love them to death, but besides my kids and my family, just like new games, something exciting to do.
Gotcha.
Hanging out with my friends online.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. If let's see. What's the next? I forgot the next question. I haven't done this yet. It's rather late. Oh shoot.
Well, it's pretty much what deflates you then.
Yeah, it's what deflates you. Right, yeah, deflates you. Yeah.
Oh, what brings me down? Like what's a downer?
Yeah. What deflates you?
An existential dread of knowing I'm probably going to work until I'm dead because of Social Security and shit.
Yeah, nothing big.
Nothing big.
All right. And the last question: if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I'm sorry for being a dick.
Yeah. You want him to apologize as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We demand an apology.
There's
God for an apology.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck, what's the deal with childhood cancer and shit like that? Go fuck yourself.
Fuck off. All right. Right this way. Okay, thank you, John. It's good. Very good. Very good. So yes.
Try.
Thank you, everyone. That was John, and he'll be joining us from now on, every now and then, whenever he gets a chance, I'm sure, for a podcast. So right now, we will bring it to our newest little segment we're doing here. It's our strange news article for the week. As of right now, so I'll pull that up.
You got something that's going to top the pooper?
Well, we'll see. The thing is this one, I've heard of this stuff before, but I thought, you know what? It's been a while. Let's bring it back, and it's from the New York Post here. A little article today. The title of the article is "I saw feet in the toilet and realized I gave birth to a surprise baby."
What?
This woman took the term "special delivery" to new limits.
Oh no!
Lucy Jones of Bristol, England, got a big surprise last month when she gave birth to her daughter Ruby in a bathroom, and the new mom claimed she never even knew she was pregnant. The 22-year-old, who believed she had recently gotten her period, said she had just hit the toilet with plans of pushing out a poo when she heard a crash and looked down, and there was 2 feet sticking out of the toilet. The trainee flight attendant admitted she had experienced minor back and stomach pains one night before, but thought nothing of it. Jones opened up to a Kennedy News Service about her wild experience, insisting she was taking birth control daily. "I had no idea I was pregnant until I saw the baby in the toilet," the shocked mama said, adding that she immediately dialed 911 for an ambulance. Turns out the EMTs were equally stunned. I was hysterically screaming, "There's a baby!" And they were expecting there to be a miscarriage, not a full-size 7-pound baby in their kitchen sink.
What the fuck?
So yeah.
What? I mean, you've seen those things. Women have gone through the thing where they actually don't know they're pregnant. It is a thing.
Yes, I've heard this. I've heard this before. Yeah,
but I mean, you imagine the stories that kid's gonna have, who's everyone's favorite little shitter. You know what I mean?
He'll probably grow up to be another superintendent that likes to shit on his own.
Yeah,
that's how it's gonna be.
That's the origin story, actually.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it's gonna be.
Origin story.
Going back in time.
Look out, DC. Here you go.
All right. Yeah, so that was our strange news article of the week.
Jesus.
Woman shits out a baby. So yeah.
Good Lord.
And
I hope they're not all poop related. I really hope.
Yeah, this is a theme.
Honestly, I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't mean to be. But I'll take it. I just like I said, I've heard of that before, but
right.
I figure, well, it made me laugh. I was like, let's bring it on.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we will now move into the timeline of 1991. And on January 15th, the UN deadline for the withdrawal of Iraqi forces from occupied Kuwait expires, preparing the way for the start of Operation Desert Storm, an all-out attack on Saddam's biggest supporters, which were, of course, orphanages, also women and children, some hospitals. February 26th, on Baghdad radio, Iraqi leader Saddam Hussein announces the withdrawal of Iraqi troops from Kuwait. However, in a display of gross immaturity, the Iraqi soldiers set fire to Kuwaiti oil fields. On March 3rd, a video captures the beating of motorist Rodney King by Los Angeles police officers.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. 4 Los Angeles police officers are indicted on March 15th for the beating. The video footage would begin the era of police accountability that would usher in a utopia of peace, love, and understanding between all races, ethnicities, and peoples. Henceforth, March 3rd, 1991 would forever be known as the day racism died.
God.
On March 13th, the Acid Rain Treaty of 1991 is signed between the United States and Canada. In the treaty, both nations vow to send their acid rain Mexico's way. March 15th, Germany...
At least they're getting rain now.
Good Lord. March 15th, Germany formally regains complete independence after the 4 post-World War II occupying powers, France, the UK, the US, and the USSR, relinquish all remaining rights to the country. Germany would celebrate their newfound freedom by resurrecting Beethoven to play during a nationwide nude fest. When asked how he was feeling about what he was seeing, Beethoven repeatedly said that he's okay with being deaf, but now wishes he was blind. On April 14th, in the Netherlands, thieves steal 20 paintings worth $500 million from the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. The paintings are found in an abandoned car near the museum less than an hour later. After a number of police inquiries, triple dog dares were found to be the culprit.
God damn
it. June 12th, Boris Yeltsin is elected president of the Russian SFSR, which is the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic. He officially begins his term...
That'll last forever. Sorry.
June 12th, Boris Yeltsin is elected president of the Russian SFSR. He officially begins his term on July 10th, as he needed a little under a month to sober up.
Really? I was about to say, he barely stood the whole time.
July 22nd, American serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer is arrested after the remains of 11 men and boys are found in his Milwaukee apartment. Detective Liam Murphy described Dahmer's apartment as pretty cozy, aside from the tacky throw pillows, dated wallpaper, and decapitated head in the fridge. August 23rd, Nintendo releases the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in North America, beginning the golden age for consoles, an age where they would actually be available upon release.
For real.
September 22nd, the Huntington Library makes the Dead Sea Scrolls available to the public for the first time. Fortunately for the public, someone rented the scrolls and never brought them back. September 24th, Dr. Seuss passes away at the age of 87. On his deathbed, he left one final note for his family, friends, and fans. It read, "You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what to do. And you are the guy who decide where to go." And for me, that's hell. I'm not even a real doctor, if you can't tell. Go fuck yourselves. Teddy. October 3rd, Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives Tom Foley announces the closure of the House Bank by the end of the year after revelations that House members have written numerous bad checks to Papa John's Pizza. October 24th, Gene Roddenberry dies after watching Star Trek V: The Final Frontier.
That's honestly, that's fair. That's totally fair. That was the worst one.
It was. It really was. And it came out in 89, so yeah, it kind of makes sense. It was a late watch, but you know.
I mean, he watched it like,
yeah.
It took him that many years to get through it, right? And then at the end, he's like, "Fuck me," and just that was it.
Yep. Send him off. On November 24th, Queen lead singer Freddie Mercury dies in London from AIDS-induced pneumonia. His death would change the public's perception on the AIDS virus and force the U.S. to treat the disease by ignoring it completely. December 26th, the Supreme Soviet meets for the last time, formally dissolves the Soviet Union and adjourns, ending the Cold War and beginning the era of westernization of the East, culminating with the War on Christmas. That was your birthday there, Nick.
That was my birthday, yes, in the Soviet Union.
I almost included you in that. And that is our timeline for 1991. A few little interesting things. There was, I couldn't really think of a joke for it, but there was Gorbachev. He went on vacation in Crimea. Crimea, yeah. And a coup was attempted on his life. And he had to, he got a warning from George H.W. Bush. And after he evaded, I think it was like 72 hours. He was captured. 100,000 people protested, and finally he came back home and arrested everyone. But George H.W. Bush warned him about it because he heard from their own, United States intelligence.
They're gonna get you.
Yeah, he was Gorbachev. Yeah, they're gonna come get you. And he was. I can't remember where I heard it from, but Gorbachev said, you always said you were my friend. George Bush there, but now I know that was true because he told him, he gave him a heads up and he didn't have to. So,
right.
Yeah.
And then his son would say that he saw Putin's soul. Anyway,
looked into his eyes. Soul. All right. Yeah. My favorite one was probably the March 15th one with Beethoven.
That was wonderful.
That was good.
That was my favorite one, I think, of the year. But all right, we will now move to the entertainment of the year 1991, the entertainment section, and the top 10 movies in terms of gross for the year 1991. Number 10 was The Naked Gun, 2.5, The Smell of Fear. I've never seen that. Have you seen that, John?
It's just classic Neeson or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like the airplane movies.
They're all the same. They're dry humor. They're funny, but
small doses.
Yeah. I mean, you really can't beat Airplane, though. I mean, I think that's the best one he's made.
Sure. For sure. All right, number 9, the movie Hook. Remember the movie?
I love that movie. Bust me marbles.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest ones of my childhood, man. And that's why when Robin passed away, man, I was like, oh fuck, dude.
Do you have a?
Sorry. I honestly thought Rufio was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought he was badass when I was a little kid.
Was it his hair?
But then when I grew up and I watched it again, I was like, this kid's a little asshole.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you say? Is it something called him Jolly Man or Fat Man? I don't remember what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember do you have a favorite part in that movie, John? Or Nick?
In Hook?
Yeah, like something that sticks out.
The food scene, man. When they're all sitting around.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Where the hell's the goddamn food?" Well, he doesn't say that, but that's what's going through his
the rated R
movie.
This is the NC-17 book. Should see what he does with Tinkerbell.
No. I remember the food fight scene. It was like it wasn't real food. They were just imagining that.
Yeah.
It was
but when they're bantering back and forth too.
Yeah.
And like a lot of those jokes you don't get when you're a kid, and then you get older and you watch it, and he's like, "You're nearsighted gynecologist." Like that fucking that gets me every time.
Right.
A few things that there's a lot of quotable lines in that movie for me. Wendy, Peter, you're a pirate, so
yeah.
He used to be like make the joke where he'd be like, Peter, you're a fucking pirate. For some reason he just throw the F-bomb and just makes it
makes it way funnier.
You go with also Glenn Close, the late actress Glenn Close is in Hook. She's the one that gets thrown in the boo box. You doubted me, you, and he points the hook, and it's between Peter Pan and this other person. Well, it turns out that's Glenn Close, and she was under so much makeup and facial hair that you don't even recognize her. But yeah, also I did not know that was Dustin Hoffman who played Hook for a long time.
Oh
Didn't
yeah,
know it said it.
Yeah,
no idea.
Crazy.
Couldn't place
Crazy.
that.
I mean that's a far cry from Meet the Fockers, you know. So
or Rain
Like
Man.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
Rain Man
dude,
was
he was great in Rain Man though.
Yeah,
dude,
exactly.
he like embodied Hook.
Oh yeah,
He was like a Daniel Day-Lewis.
Like Bob Hoskins as Shmi. I like that.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. All right.
Don't try to top me, Shmi. Don't try to stop me, Shmi. Don't try to stop me. Try to stop me. Like he's gonna go shoot. I'm going to shoot myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 8, Sleeping with the Enemy. Julia Roberts movie. I believe
she was good in Hook. Move on.
Yeah, this is true. She was in a. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. It's interesting. You see, like actresses like have like multiple movies in the same year that are like top 10. Number 7 was Dances with Wolves, which would later turn into Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was like a 3.5, 4 hour epic from Kevin Costner. The thing is that the next one is 9, 8, 6. So the 6th highest grossing movie of the year 1991 is because this movie came out at the end of 1990. So although it was released in 1990 and made a shit ton of money in 1990, 1991 it was so good. It's Home Alone. It's Home Alone. Number 6 is Home Alone. It's number 6 of the following year. So good Lord. Number 5 was Addams Family. The Addams Family. Number 4, this movie is dear to my heart. It is also in my personal film selections. City Slickers.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, so good.
I love that movie. Is like a childhood favorite. I love that movie.
It's timeless.
Someone put a bullet through his eye,
and it just you relate to it more and more the older you get.
Is that the second one?
That's the second one. Yeah, it's true. You do.
That was Legends of Curly's Gold or whatever.
Curly's Gold. Yeah. That's the second one. Yeah.
Which is funny because Jack Palance won an Oscar for that role, and he had never won it. That was his first Oscar role that he got.
Wow.
And to celebrate it, he did push-ups on stage at the Oscars. And Billy, what's his name? Good Lord, Billy Crystal. Basically, that was like the highlight of the night, and he kept riffing on it the rest of the night. Like, if the party dies down, I'll just start doing a couple push-ups, or I'll have Jack Palance get up here at the end or something like that. Yeah, but it was like one of those things. City Slick, that line where he's talking to his son's class. What's his name? Jake Gyllenhaal, young Jake Gyllenhaal. I think it's like his first acting role. Jake Gyllenhaal is Billy Crystal's son. And Billy Crystal's in his son's class talking about what he does for a living, and he just goes off on this tangent where he's just like, he starts talking about his life and something about, you have your choices, when you're 30, it's, it's not too bad with, when you get 40, the music's too loud, and then 50s, you have a procedure. It's an operation, but you call it a procedure, and 60s, 80s, you and the wife retired to Fort Lauderdale, it's sort of like this sad, line of dialogue that just, it's so funny. It's just a great movie.
Yeah.
I know, I crap bigger than you, there's so many crazy good lines. In the second one, I think it's the second one. Yeah, it's the second one. When Daniel Stern sits on a cactus. That's such a good
one. Yeah.
You were that's suck on my ass. Yeah. All right, number 3. Top 3 in terms of gross for the year 1991. Number 3, Silence of the Lambs. The Silence of the Lambs.
Absolute classic.
In the cover, you see that looks like a moth, like in the mouth of like a skull, but it's actually like naked women, I believe. They're all together, kneeled together, and they shave a skull essentially. So that's what that actually is. If you look closely, that's what that is.
Very clever artwork.
Yes, I believe it's like Salvador Dali, I believe, or I could be wrong. But yeah, just great movie. I think it was like the first horror movie to like win like Best Picture. Like those typically don't win Best Picture, but Silence of the Lambs did. Do you guys have any highlights from those movies that you want to share? Something that sticks out.
I can't listen to that Goodbye Horses song ever without
oh my god, that's so funny.
That movie,
right? That's true. Yeah, I mean, most definitely that guy. Was it Buffalo Bill or something?
Yeah.
Really just terrifying. He just scared the hell out of me when I was younger. I mean, he scared me more than Hannibal himself,
right?
But I'm not saying that he wasn't freaky, but it just didn't hit me as hard as like I shouldn't have been seeing that shit when I was a kid.
Right, absolutely.
No. Nope. That's probably not a good one.
There I was.
That movie has just made such an impression that it's been parodied over and over and over again. Countless movies since then. So
right,
just like any sort of form of entertainment, they always, you'll see Silence of the Lambs references, stuff like that. For the Goodbye Horses by Q Lazarus, I believe is the name of the artist.
Right. Yeah.
I used to play that when I was when I'd work in retail, and I'd play it like on the loud iPod speaker, and I would do that dance. Occasionally. I wasn't naked. I wasn't tucked back or anything like that.
Oh.
I was just doing that dance, and so like customers would like walking by and they'd hear that song. And,
right, and you're like dressed in a uniform.
They wouldn't come over there, and I wouldn't have to help anybody, and the day would just fly by. Yeah,
how clever.
Great.
Yeah. All right, number two in terms of top 10 movies. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, another Kevin Costner film. I think this also had Sean Connery as King Richard, and he shows up at the very end. The Scottish King of England, I believe it was. Yeah, that makes sense. Just throw Sean Connery in there. He got paid a shit ton of money, and it's literally 5 minutes of film. Millions and millions of dollars. He's in the movie for 5 minutes. Yeah. All right, and the number one movie of 1991. Any guesses?
I don't know. I wanted to say
if I had to pick,
What
I'd
About
say
Bob?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd like to say What About Bob, but I know that ain't it.
Right.
We can go with What About Bob. Is that your guys' guess? What About Bob? We'll just move on here.
Well, it isn't Star Trek 5.
Nope.
Yeah.
That came out in 89.
I'm gonna say Terminator 2, right?
Terminator 2. John, you say Terminator 2?
Probably Terminator 2, yeah.
You guys are correct. Ding, ding, ding. Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Oh, I win. That's classic, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just so ahead of its time in special effects.
Yeah.
Just in 91, and it still looks good today.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
There are a few things. There's like this weird blue tinted light throughout the whole film. It feels like, especially at nighttime. I'm not sure where the fuck that comes from. That's James Cameron's own little touch. But other than that, the movie, for me, just spotless. Nothing's even really wrong with that. I've noticed it so much now that it sticks out. I've seen it so many times.
Right. It's considered one of the greatest action films in general, like of all time.
Yeah, for sure.
Not even just for that series, even though it is the best of that whole Terminator series, I'd say, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure. Not even a question. When T-1000, when he goes through the bars at the jail, he just slides right through it. His gun sticks to it. Just little things like that, or splitting himself into two to like open up the elevator doors, or just when he gets blown up with I think it was a grenade, and he's all over the place. In 91 they did that. It's just crazy.
That was awesome.
They had top of the line computers to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like they weren't cheap. They're like $40,000 a piece
at
that time.
So I mean, it's a rarity, but top movie of the year, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. That might be right. Of everything, that might be right. It's a rare occasion. Usually the top movies are garbage.
Right.
Now we'll move to my personal film selections of 1991. First one I'm going to suggest is Barton Fink, which is an interesting little movie. It's
Fink.
It's
I've actually never seen it, but I'd like to.
It's got Coen Brothers. I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's got the Jesus in it.
Yeah.
Nobody fuck with the Jesus. I can't even think of it. He's a great actor. Barton Fink, I recommend it. Another movie.
John Turturro.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep.
There you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Fantastic. Another one I'm going to recommend here, Cape Fear, with Robert De Niro, and
that's a good one.
What's his name? God, what's his name? I can't think of it. He goes off the deep end later on because he gets in like a motorcycle accident, and his
Gregory Peck.
Not Gregory Peck. No. God, he's got like a famous mugshot, and I can't think of his name. It's all right. Anyway, for Cape Fear. Nick Nolte. Yeah. I think it's Nick. Yeah. That is a Scorsese film.
Ooh.
So.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Most people don't think about that, but yeah,
really
it is
good.
Cape Fear. I also believe it's a remake. My favorite, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Of all the Cape Fear adaptations, just like Silence of the Lambs. This one has also been spoofed in a sense. The Simpsons with Sideshow Bob is a phenomenal episode. It's just, and it's all based off that movie, and so it's Cape Fear. Recommend it. Another movie, an Oliver Stone classic, JFK, came out in 1991. Recommend that movie. Take it with a grain of salt. It's a nice, it's a fun little movie, but
yeah, it is a fun movie. Yeah.
It's don't go home thinking you figured it out.
It's a long movie though.
It is. It's probably best to watch it in parts. I like the old actors in that movie, like Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon. They've got little bit parts in it. It's just I like seeing stuff like that.
Man, I don't know if I've ever seen that version. I saw like a newer version they did of it. Like I'd say in the 2000s or something. I don't know if it's the same movie, but that someone did a JFK one about that. And that was actually pretty good.
I wonder if it really
that JFK from 91 was Oliver Stone. And that had a hell of a cast, man.
Oh, it did.
It's
absolutely
definitely worth watching.
Yeah. Had Newman on your set, Wayne Knight.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Right.
All right, and now we'll get to the next movie I'm going to suggest here. You guys have already guessed one of them. You thought it was top movie of the year. What About Bob? What About Bob?
Love that movie.
One of the best movie.
Bill Murray,
a hidden gem because not a lot of people know about What About Bob. But What About Bob is a fantastic film. The ending is nuts. But it gets easier to digest as the years have gone by. But really, the first 3/4 of the movie is just, some of Bill Murray's best work, as well as Richard Dreyfuss. The playing off each other is just hilarious. Any lines that stick out to you, or moments or scenes, Nick?
Yeah, I really liked, of course, like the puppets, like the hand puppets that
right, yeah.
It's like he'd make his daughter like remember when like he goes to, like the park or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, I sailed, and then they gets off, and he has her wear the puppet. He's like, Anna, your father's talking to you.
I know you won't talk to your father, but you always talk to me,
right?
And he gives her the puppet.
Therapy killed me, genius. Carrying out the cake. Where's the bomb? In the house. Boom.
Yeah.
Classic.
Oh man.
I love the old couple that Leo Marvin buys a house from under, apparently, and then they just see him throughout the movie, and they just yell shit at him,
Right.
Like they pulled up one time and like hi, and he's like, Hitler. She called him Hitler or something like that, and burn in hell, Dr. Marvin.
Burn in hell, Dr. Marvin.
I think my favorite line of the whole movie, it has to be after the disastrous news, the interview with and he's like, get out, and he screams out and he kicks, get out of our house, you've ruined my life, you've ruined my career, you turned a peaceful house into an insane asylum, get out. And he throws him out the house, and he's like, dude, so what's gotten into you? And he's just like, it was a disaster, Faye. And he's going on back and forth, and he's like, yeah, why'd you have to kick Bob out of the house? You think he's gone? That's the whole point, he's never gone. And he opens up the door and he's standing right there. Is this some sort of weird new therapy? You see? Favorite. As you can see, I acted that out, so I've seen that a lot.
Yeah. I love how they end, how Bob ends up becoming the therapist.
Oh, right. And he makes his book,
like they're interviewing him about the book.
He calls his book Death Therapy, and then Leo sues him for the name.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
amazing.
God, love
it.
Right.
The son in that, he had a big year because he plays the same kid that played in Hook.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's also
never saw him again. No, I'm kidding.
He's also a genius, a math genius.
There's
highly intelligent. Yes, and he was in one more movie after that, I believe, and it was Can't Hardly Wait. It was a '90s film, teenager film, where he plays a kid he's in one of the nerd kids. He gets drunk and sings "Paradise City" by Guns N' Roses, and everyone's all cheering him and stuff like that. But
that was him.
Yep, that's him. He's a math genius. So I think he was like doing like advanced calculus at that age. That sort of deal. So, all right, we'll move on here because we could talk about What About Bob for a while. Boys in the Hood is another film I'm going to suggest for the year 1991. Great film. You've never seen it, I recommend it. I won't talk too much about it if you haven't seen it, so I don't want to give it away. But an excellent representation. I mean, just the really,
I believe I've seen it. Yeah,
finger on the pulse of what was going on in South Central LA, Compton area, and stuff like that. So, really good timepiece, almost you consider. But another one I'm going to mention because it wasn't mentioned in the top 10 when I thought that was kind of shocking. Beauty and the Beast, the Disney movie, Beauty and the Beast. For the music alone, that's good music.
Right,
yeah, and the animation was excellent. And it just kept better. Disney's golden era, or like I don't know what era they want to call it, but like the 90s were like that's when they got right back on, especially after Little Mermaid. Another one I'm going to mention, last one, Thelma and Louise. That's a good little film there. I like how way that one ends. Not in necessarily a happy ending, but they go out together. So Thelma and Louise, I recommend. And City Slickers, but I already mentioned that before. And we will now go to worst movies. The worst movies of 1991. One of the worst movies I've ever seen. So bad that I can't, even with every amount of assistance that I may ingest, I cannot laugh. I don't like it. I just get annoyed. I absolutely hate this movie. Drop Dead Fred. Cannot stand that movie. Hate it.
I think I saw half of it once and I was like, nah.
Yeah, it's just weird. I think it's Phoebe Cates, and she has an imaginary friend who's not actually imaginary because he can interact with the real world. It's weird. Another movie, worst movies, Nothing But Trouble. This movie is universally panned. Mom was kind enough to get me it for Christmas on VHS in 2003. You want Nothing But Trouble on VHS in 2003? It was that and Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. It made no fucking sense. Okay.
At least one of those is halfway decent.
Yeah. Like it's on VHS? It's 2003. Woman, get it together. Another worst movies of 1991, The Never Ending Story 2, The Next Chapter.
Yeah.
This is the one. Yeah. I mean, the first one's a classic. The second one is just, It
the second one's a bid for money. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, what was that kid's name? Jonathan Brandis plays Bastion in that one. He would go on to play this kid in Sequest. It's a show we'll get to later, but
I actually liked that show.
No, Sequest. So did I. Sequest was pretty good. We'll get to there at some point, though. I don't want to speak too much on it. Another one, sure. I just watched it recently. Highlander 2, The Quickening, 1991. One of the worst movies.
What?
Highlander 2. Another one. There's a lot. There's a few more. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 more. Problem Child 2.
Oh no!
Oh man!
Yeah.
Oh,
so
no.
This is the one I've seen the most.
That's with Gilbert.
Yep. Well, they're both with Gilbert, actually.
They both have Gilbert.
Yeah.
But
he's a reoccurring role. Go on.
The first one had Michael Richards, but the second one didn't. I don't remember what the second one.
That's right. The second one had that woman.
That one woman. Yeah.
Who was like in love with Ben. Ben Healy, I think his name was. I don't know. And it had the dad from who was like the dad from Dirty Work.
Right.
As grandpa. Yeah, he's just like
that's
that
right.
Yeah. It's just
Dirty Work. Oh yeah. Can't wait to get to that movie.
Yeah, worst movies. We'll move on here. The movie Cool as Ice, which is the Vanilla Ice movie.
Oh brother.
That I've been holding off on for worst movie nights, but yeah, Vanilla Ice, Cool as Ice.
Oh my god.
It's another worst movies. 2 more here. Stone Cold, which is a movie starring Brian Bosworth. I believe he was like a linebacker or something like that. Some NFL player who was like overhyped, flunked out of the NFL and got into movies and no one gave a shit. And I don't know. I think his career just went south. And the last movie for 1991 that I will mention is Suburban Commando. Worst movies, 1991.
Oh, Jesus.
Suburban.
I've never seen it, but the cover alone.
Hulk Hogan.
Yep, Hulk Hogan
with Christopher Lloyd, The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me right now? Hey, at least it got a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes because that Cool as Ice movie got a 3%.
That's 3% too high. Honestly, it should be a 0. It really should. The fact that Suburban Commando has 15% higher score than North is something.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So we'll go to Suburban Commando. That's another worst movie nights or something like that. You throw that in your back pocket. Top albums of terms of gross for 1991. Number 10, Skid Row, Slave to the Grind. Okay, just 80s band that just kind of
slid in there.
Yeah, just
slid in there. Skid on by.
Get it on that. Yep, absolutely. Number 9, U2, Achtung Baby. That's one of their more popular albums, I guess. Number 8, we had Michael Bolton, Time, Love, and Tenderness.
I love his whole discography.
Oh yeah, just I'm a Michael Bolton fan.
I'm just a Bolton guy.
Yeah. Number 7, we had REM, Out of Time. Number 6, we had Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 2, 1 and 2. Sorry. Let's see. Number 5, we had Michael Jackson's Dangerous, the album Dangerous. Number 4 was Metallica with Metallica's Black Album. Number 3, Not Even Shitting.
That one was that I believe. Metallica's Black Album was controversial, if I remember correctly.
Oh right, yeah. So it's one of the So we'll stop here for Metallica because that's a huge album. It's the biggest selling album of the 90s.
Right.
It outsold everything. But when Metallica, left the metal scene, they didn't really leave it per se, but the metal fans felt that they did because they cut their hair eventually, not in that one, but like soon after, like a couple years after. But their sound was produced by Bob Rock, and it made it more poppy, I guess you could say, but just more radio friendly,
Yeah.
And so
radio friendly, yeah.
The metalheads hated that, and so they think of that album as a terrible album. The purists. Pretty sure that Brad fellow is one of those purists. It's a sick individual. Good thing he's not here to defend himself. But Metallica, that album is a classic, top to bottom.
Let's be honest though, right? You got the Black Album. Everyone hates that one. I don't.
I don't hate it.
But then you get like you were saying, the purists. But let's say they had just to wait a little longer till Saint Anger came out, and then the Black Album's like gold.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So, right. Yeah.
If you think this is bad, just
I
wait.
bought Saint Anger, so fuck
right. I know.
Right.
That was my introduction to Saint. You and Timmy. I had to hear it. Timmy also bought it, so yeah.
Timmy singing it was hysterical.
Frantic. Yeah. All right, we'll get to number 3. Somehow, some way, and I believe there's some movie or two that had a reason to do with this, but Vanilla Ice, To the Extreme, was the highest grossing album of 91.
What?
Yeah. And number 2, Garth Brooks, Ropin' the Wind. Garth Brooks.
Hey.
What did that have on it?
Chris Pine.
We may get to that in a second.
Chris Grant, whatever his name was.
Oh God!
What did he go by in his rock album? What was his name?
Well, I have that album. I have it in my room.
I believe you.
I do.
Wait, you mean his alias?
His alias.
Yeah. What was this?
Chris Gaines.
Chris Gaines. Yeah.
He went as Chris Gaines. We'll get to that.
That's funny.
We'll get to Chris Gaines and the whole mystery behind it. I might use that album as a thumbnail for you. That'll get taken down quickly. Garth Brooks will send every lawyer he has after me. Number 1 album of 1991, Mariah Carey's debut album. Mariah Carey. Why aren't one of the greatest albums of all time, or a couple of them, not on that list? Because they came later on in 91, and in 92 they really picked up steam. So I'm assuming in 92 the top albums will be more, just be better, top to bottom. Right. But my personal picks in 91, you could probably just think and name them. Nirvana, Nevermind.
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What do you say? Go
10
ahead.
Pearl Jam's
10 for sure. I have that on there as well. For Nevermind, do you have anything that sticks out? Is there any particular song that you like over the other ones? Or they're all pretty much gold for you? Or do you remember your first time hearing it? Because I remember my first time hearing it.
Yeah.
I don't really remember my first time hearing it.
I don't remember first time hearing it. It's probably like a school dance or something.
I think that my favorite song.
I know where we heard it first, John.
Where?
Well, go on, Nick. I'll get to that in a second.
Oh, it's okay. I think that my favorite song, I've heard it. I mean, who hasn't heard this album like a million times, right? Yeah. So I think that the song that I can still listen to that I still enjoy is Polly. I still really enjoy that song. It's just fun to play. It's just a nice little song, and it doesn't last too long either. So,
you know what that song's about?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, I know I'm not mistaken, because if I heard it first there, then I guarantee you heard it first here, John. And it was in our cousin Mike's room. Cousin Mikey. We were in his room, and he had Nevermind under his mattress because he wasn't allowed to listen to it. And we listened to it in his room on low. And he put it in his CD player, and it's track 1, and you hear those famous chords, da da da, da da da. And I'm like, what the hell am I hearing? It didn't make sense to me, but it sounded great. And I remember when we were driving home, humming it in the back seat of the car, like in the station wagon, like the back station wagon, like, you know, we used to hang out back there, like in the trunk essentially. But just humming that tune to Smells Like Teen Spirit. I remember where I was when I first heard those chords, which is crazy. For some reason, it stuck out to me. You were in Mikey's room.
I think I honestly,
if you'd already heard it, you may have already heard it.
I think the first time I heard any Nirvana song was when he was listening to Rate Me.
Oh my!
And he's like, hey, man, listen to this, and I was like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, I enjoy Bleach more these days than Nevermind.
I enjoy In Utero probably the most, I think.
Right.
I think that's my favorite. Nevermind, you know, it's a classic, one of the greatest albums ever, but it's just too poppy for me. It has too nice, and I think even the band would agree. I mean, it's just, from what I'm a huge Nirvana fan, so I've like read every, book there is to read on them, and
all right.
My understanding is I feel the sign in the same way, that it's not, no way is it bad, it's just too poppy in a sense. We'll move on.
Sure.
Pearl Jam's 10, another classic in the same vein as Nevermind, in the same year, within a few months of each other, if not like a month apart.
91, 92 is when grunge really hit the scene and blew up.
10, I mean, that's the founding members, or the remaining members of Mother Love Bone, because the lead singer had died.
Yeah.
They formed Pearl Jam, and Eddie Vedder sent out like a couple demos of him singing and playing some of the songs, and I think Alive he had written on his own, and like the lyrics too, and something like that. And they all got together, jammed it out, and within a week they were playing gigs, and within a few months they were signed, and they just blew up. It was crazy. Soundgarden, Badmotorfinger, another classic, same year, crazy. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, same year. The Under the Bridge songs off that one. And any other year that probably would have been like #1 rock album of the year, but it happens to be in the same year as Nevermind and 10. Primus, personal little thing, Sailing the Seas of Cheese, with Jerry was a race car driver on there.
Yep.
I got
race car driver.
Drives a goddamn fast.
Did that have Winona on that one too?
I believe so, or was the next one?
I don't remember.
Now we'll move on. We got another personal pick, Stevie Ray Vaughan, The Sky Is Crying. Stevie Ray Vaughan, classic, one of the greatest guitar players ever, especially blues. And Ozzy Osbourne's greatest solo album, the highest selling, No More Tears, and songs like Mother, I'm Coming Home, stuff like that on there. So yeah,
it's probably his last greatest album.
The last one that he.
Yep, probably.
He could have a conscious thought.
Right. He could have retired on that and would have been.
Probably should have.
He sucks now.
If you remember, worst albums for last year, it was like the top albums of the year was also the worst albums. But this year, the worst albums, kind of in the same vein. But the first one is funny to me because he now just goes by Hammer a year later. So worst album is Hammer, Too Legit to Quit.
Too legit.
That might not be a good thing. He probably should quit. Stop.
I think he did.
After that he did quit.
quit while he was ahead, I guess.
Far behind at this point. He dropped the MC. Well. He's no longer the master of ceremonies, Hammer. He is just Hammer. You know. And after that, we've got Michael Bolton's Time, Love, and Tenderness. What a pile of shit this fucking album was. I listened to some of the songs off it. Good Lord. What a garbage fest. It's awful. And my favorite...
I follow his whole calendar.
Oh, me too. I love him. I absolutely love him. I think he's fantastic. I'm a Michael.
I am just
fan.
Yeah.
And the worst album of 1991. Crack me up. They are now going by the real Milli Vanilli with the album The Moment of Truth. So after they got shit on for having a track over, so they weren't actually singing, they decided to, we can actually sing, we're going to show people, so they changed it to the real Milli Vanilli. So we're not having someone else sing for us, we're using our own voices. Album is called The Moment of Truth, because this was going to be the moment of truth to find out whether or not they were going to survive in the music business. And they sucked. And they did. That was the moment of truth.
That shit.
Yeah, absolutely. If that isn't sold you on that album, I don't know what will. All right, we got to go to top songs of 1991. Top song of 1991, I believe, and probably the number one single from his entire career. Bryan Adams, Everything I Do It For You. Thoughts? You guys know that song, right?
Yeah.
It's got that breathy singing, look into my eyes. See,
oh, yeah.
Oh, hold on. Good Lord. All right. So
you try and imitate it, just kills you because,
That's horrible. Yeah.
Well, honestly, that was a better rendition than the original.
Probably, though. You're right.
I actually, there's one time I karaoke'd this song, and I was hanging out with a good friend, and then a bunch of people that I didn't know that were friends of his at his job, and we sang this song for karaoke. And I got off the stage, and within 5 seconds, I had one of his friends grab me from behind. His guy kissed the back of my head, and his other friend kissed the side of my head. And it wasn't like it's just like a good job sort of thing. And I was just standing there like, that's a bit.
Things are about to get weird. Huh?
I have no idea what's going on. Curse me for singing Bryan Adams. Another top song of 1991, we had Color Me Bad, I Want to Sex You Up.
Oh my God. I remember hearing that song.
You up. Yeah. Good Lord.
I think I was in the car.
Really?
with a mom and her friend Donna at the time. She had a son Logan, and they were playing the song, and my mom's like, "Oh, mute that!" Like,
right?
Yeah.
It says a bad word.
Yeah.
Yep. That sounds like it. Number 3, we had CNC Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat. Everybody dance now. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam, bam.
I mean, it's a bad song, but instantly recognizable throughout all of history since. So, like,
absolutely,
for sure. Yeah,
the guy who raps absolutely hates this song, or he might be okay on it now, but he hated it for years. Again, one of my favorite uses of that song in any sort of entertainment was The Simpsons, when Homer thinks Bart is gay.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually. Yes, but something about that song, I think that might be the same song, where like the video of it, like it was sung by a heavyset black lady, and they replaced it with like some
no, you're right. Yep,
skinny looking black lady, and they dubbed over it.
Yep,
because they didn't want to put her on the video or whatever. Yeah, that's pretty controversial.
Yeah, and she, I believe she was one of the Weather Girls. She was one of the It's Raining Men.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Girls. Yeah. She's got a hell of a voice, but because she's not, aesthetically pleasing, I guess they, ugh. So we'll move on now to EMF, Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You're unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Now my favorite is got the Andrew Dice Clay edit there, where it's like, you're unbelievable. It's that's Andrew Dice Clay's who's a prominent comedian in this time, and I think.
Well, I mean, he's awful.
He's awful. He sucks.
Yeah,
Brad loves him.
Sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea why.
If he was only here to defend himself. No idea.
There's nothing he can say.
Now,
there is nothing.
All of these songs. What was it? There was an album that came out that had
Jock Jams.
Had like, boom, thank you. That's
Jock
what
Jams.
it is.
You had a Jock Jams CD.
They were all there. I did.
You did. And that's how I knew that. Yeah. It was like this collection of songs you'd hear at a stadium, like basketball, football games, baseball games. And they put it on.
It is on it.
It had the Mortal Kombat theme as well.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, but EMF Unbelievable is on there. So yeah,
all of those songs. Those two both.
We'll move on now to Extreme, More Than Words. That's another top song in 1991.
I remember that. Yeah.
Another way, Damn Yankees, High Enough. I remember seeing that's it's like it's really high pitched. What's his name? Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent.
Take me high enough.
Oh, okay.
Like that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that one.
Okay.
So
good job, by the way.
And we got Jesus Jones, Right Here, Right Now. Another breathy, Right Here, Right Now. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
There is no other place I'd rather be. Yeah. Then we got.
I think that's something they use in like a Chevrolet commercial or something at one point.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I believe it.
Yeah. Like a Pizza Hut commercial, something like that. You know what I mean?
There's a song that I really hope you mention. I'm just throwing that out there.
We got a shit ton more, but we'll see. Cool. If I don't, keep it in the back of your head.
All right.
Okay. We got Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Good Vibrations.
Oh my god.
Good Vibrations.
Yeah.
Feel it.
That's a great song.
Feel the vibration.
Oh my god.
Marky Mark. Hell yeah. And the Funky Bunch. How funky was that bunch? I have no idea. I only know that one song.
Right.
So funky that the guy went on to make a burger joint.
Yeah, him and his whole family. Those burgers are pretty good though. At least the meat. I had some. Not bad. We got moving on. REM, Losing My Religion. Interesting song. I like this song. No typical like standard chorus. Played only with a mandolin and drums and a bass. Nothing like really standard about this. Very different. REM, Losing My Religion. Another one. Glad you're here, Nick, because you had mentioned this to me earlier. Lenny Kravitz, It Ain't Over Till It's Over.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that one is 91. That was 1991. For some reason I thought that was like 95, 96. But no, that's 91.
Yeah, that's the song that I heard. I heard that song and I was thinking, who is this? It has like kind of like a really cool Bee Gees feel to it,
like,
you know?
Yeah, like a 60s soul type thing.
Yeah.
R&B.
So I had to find out who it was. So I was like, Lenny Kravitz? What? Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. We'll move on to another top song of 91, The Scorpions with Winds of Change, which is that
right.
I can't whistle that well. But I believe that song was like really big because of the fall of the Berlin Wall. I believe the Scorpions were German.
Yeah.
And so the Winds of Change kind of went along with it, and it propped up the song. Because it would take the fall of the Berlin Wall for that song to be propped up, because it is a sonic vomit. It sucks. It's a terrible song. I hate that song. Move on now to I've included some other styles of music that we sometimes don't mention, but I've included them because it is the 90s. Garth Brooks, Unanswered Prayers. We've got Unanswered Prayers.
Yes.
Yes.
Is this the song?
As you say that, I can think of all the lyrics in my head because of all the times the folks listen to it.
Remember when you told
stop
the man upstairs.
I like that, just because he doesn't answer doesn't mean he don't care. And also could mean he's not even there. Have you thought about that? Have you thought that it's possible?
Dr. Seuss had a hand in that one there.
Yeah. I'll see you in hell. Yeah. So, Garth Brooks, just the other night in a hometown football game. Yeah, just, Nobody was bigger in country than Garth Brooks in the 90s. Nobody. Almost nobody bigger in music. Is insane. Absolutely insane.
Right.
Another one, we got Alan Jackson's Don't Rock the Jukebox.
Oh, for the love of God.
Don't rock the jukebox.
Hell yeah.
He wants to hear
George Jones.
Yeah, absolutely.
His heart isn't ready for the Rolling Stones, man.
What's really, really sad is all this shit is just fucking baked into my head.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. The folks like
it sure is.
Those long, and I mean long car drives.
Yeah. Yes.
Where you just got, it's like the same 8
like
songs.
A fucking experiment.
Right? Social experiment.
It's almost like some
brainwashing.
Yeah, brainwashing experiment.
Because we weren't allowed to choose our own music. We had to listen to what they listened to, unless it was like Christian rap or something, or like a pop group that our younger sister liked. Because
you were down with the DC talk. We were down with
Jesus Christ, please no.
We may get to them at some point. Another one we've got, Divinals, I Touch Myself, another top song of 91. That song is if you know that one.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a fun song to play live. It freaks people out. Don't do like a interpretive dance to it because you can get arrested.
No. Right. I honestly, if I was singing that, I couldn't help myself. I would.
Yeah. You touch yourself.
That's kind of what happened. Right? Just
another
subliminal.
Song. Brooks and Dunn, Brand New Man.
Yes.
Oh, God.
I saw the light, dude. I was baptized.
Fucking baptized.
Jesus.
Oh man.
You know what's shitty is I'm gonna go to bed and I'm gonna wake up with these songs in my head because
you're gonna go to bed and you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be born to love again because you're a brand new man.
And you're gonna see the light and you're baptized by it.
Yeah.
What is it? The
fire and the touch and the flame in your eye.
Yeah. There it is. All right, we got 2 more here.
Trying not to
top
sing
song.
Trying not to sing it.
D-Light, Groove is in the Heart. This one, I've also karaoke'd this song. You know that one. It's like it's very like, it's another disco like fusion with like I don't know Euro dance. It's been in a lot of commercials. It's like Groove is in the Heart. Yeah, it's that one song. I don't know. It's got this like whistle.
Okay,
yeah. Your thrills got me chill. That song. And the last one, Diamond Rio, Meet in the Middle.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yeah. I'll start working your way. You start walking mine.
I'm gonna burn down that Georgia plane.
Burn it down. Burn that motherfucker down. Yeah. I can't believe that was 91. I thought that was like 93, 94 or somewhere on there, maybe, but 91.
I mean, they played those songs on repeat every 10 seconds for the next 10 years.
It's true.
That's so true.
True.
So there was a song that you didn't mention.
Could it possibly be? Could it possibly be included for worst song?
Oh, okay.
Almost
definitely.
Okay, so hold on. Worst songs.
Okay, I didn't know you were. Okay, go ahead.
Worst songs. We've got Geraldo, Rico Suave. The Rico
my God.
Suave.
Rico Suave.
And then I have Bryan Adams, Everything I Do It for You. I have that in one of the worst
that
songs.
Comes back.
Yes.
Yeah,
and probably the worst song of 1991, probably for me. Unless Nick's got something else, but this might be the same song. The worst song of 1991, people. Michael W. Smith, Place in This World.
Okay. In that song, I'm pretty sure that's a song where he's like playing a piano on the beach
in the desert.
On the music video.
In the middle of the desert.
Oh no, it's in the desert. Yeah.
And he's got that 5 o'clock shadow sort of thing, like that. What's that guy's name? George Michael. He looked like George Michael, like a Christian George Michael wannabe sort of thing. Another breathy like singing like voice. He's like, not a lot to lean on, need a hand to like place in this world. Why place in this world? Yeah. And then it's got this soaring like solo guitar, this like 80s like finger tap. There's finger tapping.
Yeah.
There's fucking finger tapping in a Michael W. Smith song. What the fuck? What the fuck? Worst song of 1991, Michael W. Smith.
That
Place in This World.
Yeah.
Nick?
So I had I'm so glad that you didn't mention this. And there's actually a song that I did mention recently as well. Other than that Lenny Kravitz one. It's Rhythm of My Heart.
Rod Stewart, right? Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah. But I was like, is that a top song? It was like towards like the bottom. It was like number 89 out of 100. And so I was just like, oh, there's Rod Stewart. But yeah, Rhythm of My Heart. Yeah. What do you like the most about that song?
It's just like a cool little shanty, I guess, that I enjoyed, and I didn't. Yeah. And it's funny because it's like I actually enjoy it, and I just recently heard it within the past year.
Yeah.
And it's so funny how my love for Rod Stewart apparently is true.
You were just a young Turk back in the day, but now.
Yeah.
All right.
It's so funny.
We will now move to TV shows that debuted in 91. Probably the number one show that debuted in 91. Home Improvement.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Yep. Home Improvement.
I don't think so, Tim.
Yep. Have you watched that show recently? It's hard because it's not on streaming or anything. It's probably just on basic show TV or something.
It did not age well.
It didn't. It's horrible. It's not funny. It's boring. It's cheesy. It's just our husband's an idiot, and he does idiotic things. Right. Go talk to the neighbor. Neighbor Wilson figures it out for him. Go back in and mix up what Wilson said. Make the crowd laugh.
It's almost like they did the same
formulaic.
Episode every single episode.
So bad. It is. Right. It really is. The beginning of the show, he's going to get hurt, and then it's going to cue to the theme song. Then it's going to be them inside the house, doing their daily basics. It's really formulaic and just a shitty show.
Hey, but JTT, let's be real. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll be home for Christmas.
Absolutely. JTT was huge in the 90s. We move now to another show that debuted in 91. Ren and Stimpy. Classic. Debuted in 91.
That's like my generation's SpongeBob.
Yeah, watched it like I was really young. We shouldn't have been watching it, and they let us watch it because it's a cartoon. But then they started paying attention.
It's very adult-oriented cartoon.
No, there's a lot of really weird, gross stuff in that fucking cartoon.
Yeah. It's classic though. It's great.
Oh yeah.
I still remember the log song.
Oh yeah.
I can sing it. I'm not gonna, but I can sing.
Rolls over your favorite dog or your pet dog. It's log. It's log. Yeah. It's log. It's better than bed. It's good, or something like that. It's wood. I don't know. Anyway, the next TV show that debuted in 91, I've got Doug.
Oh, hell yeah. Great show.
Doug Funny, Patty Mayonnaise.
Yep.
Roger Valentine, Skeeter.
Yeah.
Something. I can't remember. Ulrich or something. I don't know. Or maybe I'm thinking of
something.
Skeeter something.
I'm thinking of the guy from Scream.
Yeah, it's his friend.
Yeah, Skeeter.
What was his dog's name?
Skeeter Valentine. Right? Yeah, Pork Chop. Skeeter Valentine, Roger Klotz.
He wanted to be Quail Man.
Klotz, Quail Man, yeah.
Quail Man.
Belt on the head, underwear on the outside.
Yeah. The Beats. The Beats.
The Beats, yeah. His favorite band.
No idea, as a kid, that was a Beatles reference. I just thought it was a band called the Beats. Literally had no idea. Yeah.
Right.
Well, Doug, classic Doug. Actually, watched like the first episode like a year and a half ago. It was really weird. His neighbor was hiding in the bushes staring at him, and he came out of the bushes and Doug greeted him like he was an old friend. It was really weird. Not sure what's going on. But another show that debuted in 91. There's a bunch actually, so I probably should move along. Dinosaurs. Debuted.
Oh, nice.
Classic.
Yeah.
Best show on TGF for a while.
Yeah.
And they took it off.
Yeah, that show ended how it should have ended, I guess, with the dinosaurs all being wiped out. Spoiler alert. They all died by, I believe it was a winter caused by the asteroid or something. I don't know.
Right.
That show had so many parallels to Family Matters.
Right. Yeah.
It did.
And the
it was actually, what was it? Michael Jacobs was one of the creators of Dinosaurs.
Maybe
that same guy that did Boy Meets World.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's Jim Henson. I'm pretty sure he was heavily involved. This is I believe Jim Henson died. Maybe it was in 1990 or something like that, or 91. I don't know. But it's like one of the last things that his company, while he was alive, was partaking in. Dinosaurs. Not the Mama. That was a big deal.
I always loved it. I always loved his boss in the trailer with the hole in the roof.
He scared me as a kid. He
did.
Yeah. And like really, the kids are kind of like Bart and Lisa Simpson ripoffs. It was kind of like the Simpsons ripoff. It was kind of a whole thing. But I remember when this show, and I'm going to get to your debuted. I remember we were at our grandpa's house, and I was drinking a Hershey's like juice box, but it was like in a juice box, but it was Hershey's chocolate milk. Darkwing Duck debuted in 1991.
Classic.
5 years old. Yeah. Let's Get Dangerous.
Had my kids watch that for the first time the other day. Yeah. They were into it for a while.
Nice.
Another show that debuted in 91, Step by Step. Yeah, Step by Step.
Another TGI. All I remember from that
what's up
was the roller coaster, like,
beginning
thing.
Yeah. Oh,
credits.
Little bit of trivia here. The theme song is written, recorded, and played by the same band that played the theme song for Family Matters and Full House. It's the exact same group.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
exact same group. It's the same voice, same everything.
If you start singing the Full House one, eventually you end up singing this Family Matters one because you get the lyrics.
That's why they sound so familiar. That, I do that all the time.
Yep, it's the same group. That's why. So yeah, there you go. A little bit of knowledge.
Too many cooks on YouTube. Same thing, I guess. Right? Maybe I don't know.
Then we got Tasmania. Come to Tasmania, come to Tasmania. It was a cartoon with Taz. I watched that a little bit.
Oh yeah, they made a video game from that. I think
there was a video game. It was on the Sega Genesis, and it was impossible to beat. Couldn't figure it out. We got to one point, and it was just we didn't know what to do. We just died repeatedly, like Dinosaurs for Hire. Just
my god, that's fucking
Dinosaurs for Hire.
We got another show that debuted in 91. Clarissa Explains It All. With Melissa Joe Hart and her friend Sam. Yeah. One of the first times I remember seeing on like TV, basically a platonic relationship between a young girl and a young guy. They were just friends. They weren't like dating or anything.
I was a kid. I had a crush on that chick.
Yeah. What was it? Ferguson, her little brother Ferguson, who creeped me out.
Yeah.
And I always thought Sam was cool because he'd come through the window, and I thought, well, that'd be kind of interesting. It'd be fun to go do that. But then I just realized, just use the front door. It's not like a thing. Don't do that. We got Salute Your Shorts. That came out in 1991 as well.
Classic.
Is that the one where it's like Camp Bonawanna, we hold you in our heart? That's the one. Okay.
Yes.
It's got the same kid that...
I just remember the redhead kid from T2.
Yep, sorry. Exactly. Yep. The redheaded stepchild is also in Salute Your Shorts. And we've got a big one here. A debut show that's dear to my heart. A show that we've done a nod to on every single podcast History with Hersefat has ever done. The Jerry Springer Show. The Jerry Springer Show debuted in 1991. And if you can guess,
before it was raunchy,
right? If you can guess, if you know what the ode to Jerry Springer is, feel free to leave that in the comments. And feel free to leave a comment about pretty much, if you've got a personal memory on a show or a movie or a song, personal lyric that you like, feel free. All are welcome. Well, most. Let's not get crazy. All right. Jerry Springer.
Our fans are gonna light us up.
Oh, absolutely. Jerry Springer, like I said, like you were saying, John, it wasn't raunchy at this point. They hadn't gotten that route, but it would become that way, and it would change talk show televisions. In that sense, it forced everyone to go that one route. We're just shock, and all that sort of thing. Another one that was essentially like the same thing. Maury debuted in 91 as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back before all the DNA came out,
Yeah. And I was a while back, like sometime last year, when I was in the hospital, I would watch trash TV because nothing else to do in there, and it would always make me feel better. And I was thinking it's a good idea. They should just have like a 24-hour, 24/7 trash TV channel for the hospitals, because what better thing could you watch than someone who's having possibly a worse day than you? So what if I broke my arm? At least my wife isn't sleeping with my cousins, and their pet dog or something. Is weird. Yeah. And the last show for 1991, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? That game show, and I watched that when I was a kid.
That. And Legends of the Hidden Temple. Those two were big.
Oh yeah, that came out I think in a couple years, but yeah, huge. The Where in the World was Carmen Sandiego, the theme song. I thought it was great. If you get a chance to listen to that, It's like it's like kind of like barbershop quartet.
Carmen San Diego.
Yeah.
San Diego. Yeah. All right.
Acapella.
We got all right. We'll move on to top TV shows of 1991. Basic television. The top show of 1991 was 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Not American
when
Idol.
people actually cared about news.
Fucking 60 Minutes. Number 2, Roseanne. Roseanne was number 2 in 91.
For sure.
Number 3 was Murphy Brown.
I remember Mom watching that. Yeah, I didn't watch it, but
no, I never watched it either. Number 4 was Cheers. Cheers was also top show. Number 5 was Home Improvement. Debuted and it's top 5 in shows. Number 6 was Designing Women. Number 7 was Full House. Well. Yeah. No, next one was Full House. At number 8 was Murder, She Wrote. A town with the highest capita per murder per people or whatever, worse than any city on the planet. Murder, She Wrote. That
I wonder if
town.
Matlock was filmed in the same town.
I wonder. That's a good question. Yeah. Number 9 was Major Dad. Remember that?
Major Dad.
I saw that on like Netflix or Prime the other day, and I was like, "Why?"
That sounds so stupid.
I believe it was about a retired general or sergeant or something like that. He comes home and realizes he's not the one in charge anymore, and he's got to listen to his wife and kids, and they get.
Is the dad played by Gunny? Because that would be hysterical.
No. That would be better. That would be much better.
Much better.
I think played by.
I can't remember who he's played by.
His name? It's like a red hair ish.
He's bald too. I know that.
Bald, yeah.
Last 10 in the top 10. Number 10, Coach.
That was actually a good show.
Top shows in 1991. Number 10 was Coach. Yep. God, there was the guy who was kind of dense. I can't remember his name, but Van Dyke, his brother. Jerry Van Dyke, I think his name was really funny in that show. That wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Craig T. Nelson, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now we'll move on to worst TV shows of 1991. One of the worst TV shows of 1991 was The Adventures of Mark and Brian, which were two LA DJs. They take a film crew to film various stunts. Kind of ahead of its time in terms of reality TV. A lot of that, that's 91.
Is that like pre-Jackass, basically?
Pre-Jackass, punked, all that stuff. Ridiculousness or whatever on MTV, all that.
They were just ahead of their time.
They were ahead of their time, and no one watched it. And the stunts were not that good. It was like have like a giant I can't remember what exactly it consisted of, but it was basically like a float for like a parade, and drive that from L.A. to Vegas or something, or Florida or something. Or I think it was Florida.
It's like a kid on the block with a little ramp. It's like, watch me jump my bike, guy.
Exactly. Yeah, like everyone's like, okay. So another worst TV show of 1991, Baby Talk, starring Scott Baio as the dad and little baby, basically a spinoff of Look Who's Talking, but like a TV show.
Good Lord.
With Tony Danza voicing the baby. Tony Danza. Tony Danza voices the baby. That's so funny.
God, that's awful.
What a shock! It doesn't last. It doesn't last.
Should have gave the kid like a New York accent.
And, something like that.
Like made him a hard ass or something, where he swore every other. It'd have done better.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in 1991. And now for last worst TV shows of 91, we had Harry and the Hendersons, which was the TV show based on the movie.
The movie was good. Mm-hmm. The original movie was good.
Mm-hmm. Got John Lithgow.
Like cavemen or something?
Like the Sasquatch, but they befriend the family. Yeah.
It's a good movie. Yeah. The first one.
It's like not like Country Bears or anything.
No, nothing like that. No, nothing like that. No. It wishes. We got video games released in the U.S. in 1991 for the arcade. Street Fighter 2, one of the greatest fighting games of all time, where it set the bar.
First time I saw that, 7-Eleven with my cousin. It was there, and I was like, dude, we have to play this, and we played it, and I was like, this is the best game ever.
So That was released.
Which 7-Eleven was that?
15th.
Was it just in,
it was in Illinois somewhere? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
you don't remember?
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That's probably
slushies, man. Oh, yeah, good memory.
Dude, I bet.
I wonder if that maybe Schaumburg times pre-Schaumburg. I don't know.
No, that was before then. Yeah,
February 15th. That was when that was released. For the Super Nintendo, on November 23rd, Final Fantasy IV was released. People were wondering what the fuck happened to 3, because at this point 1 and 2 had been released, and 3 was just not there. It would be released like 9 years later. But yeah, Final Fantasy IV released on November 23rd. Another game for the Super Nintendo, Mega Man 4, released on December 6th. Super Nintendo released Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past on November 21st. These are all these games that came out like right after the Super Nintendo was released. So this holiday season was just flooded with great games. And now a game that is dear to my heart, that I played so much when I was a kid. I modeled my personality kind of after, for the Sega Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog is released on June 23rd, 1991. One of the first games that I memorized the cheat code to play every single zone. One of the first, up, down, left, right, hold A, start, by the way, if you haven't figured that out. Up, down, left, right, hold A, start. There you go. It's just, timeless game. I played it so many times. I remember, how old? Because I think I might have been, 6 years old? Were you 9 years old when we got a Sega, or was it the winter of 91, or was it the winter of 92?
It was after Grandpa had gotten his, because I know we go to his house and Grandpa bought one, and that's the first time that we played Sonic, was there at his house.
That's right.
And then I think it was like we begged Mom for like a year. We had a Nintendo at the time.
Oh yeah, we had an NES.
And she's like, "You guys better take care of it. I'm not gonna buy that one." So like we would like put the controls away for like a straight week, and then we got it for Christmas anyway. She was buying it anyway, right? But yeah.
I honestly,
it's like a year probably after that, so maybe 92.
92. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was 6 years old. You were 9 then. I honestly, when we got the Sega Genesis for Christmas, I had no idea what the fuck it was. No idea.
Oh, I knew.
I had no idea what it was. I still liked the Nintendo. And then you're like, oh, Sega, and I was like, wait, what's Sega? And then boom, yeah.
This is so much better.
Yep. Sonic the Hedgehog, I played it every day. I remember when we got a PlayStation, my only question was, because I didn't know what game to get. We got a PS1, and I said, what's the closest they have to Sonic the Hedgehog? I'll take that. And that's why I got Crash. That's the only reason I bought Crash Bandicoot.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. And you got Command and Conquer Retaliation.
Absolutely.
Like hell yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Classic.
It's such a pain to play on console.
I don't want to get too
I had to buy
that.
a cable.
I should have said
a special cable to do it.
Yeah, that's true. That was so much fun. We'll get to that.
Play against other people. Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, on August 23rd, F-Zero was released on the Super Nintendo. It was the debut games. It was that and Super Mario World was released with the console. 2 games with the console. Super Nintendo, obviously, August 23rd. Battletoads was released on June 1st for the Nintendo.
Oh, classic.
Fucking Battletoads. Tough as hell. I never beat that game and never even got close. I gave up. Similarly to Bart vs. Space Mutants, which was released on the 25th of April for the Nintendo. Didn't really understand that game. Knew you had to like spray paint things purple. Didn't know what exactly. There was really no guide to anything, and I quickly got bored of it. On September 15th for the PC, Civilization is released. It's still the top-selling game for that company, I believe. It's the
Civ 2?
Civilization, I think.
The first one, apparently.
Civ 2 is the one that I remember. I don't remember the first one.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was 91.
I played Civ 2 forever.
It's funny that you actually just mentioned that. I actually literally just bought Civ 4 today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, haven't played it yet. I've never played any Civilization game.
Oh, they're great.
I played a few.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Streets of Rage was released on the 2nd of August for the Sega Genesis. Here's one I
barely remember that.
Here's one that you probably will remember a bit, John. On July 1st for the Sega Genesis, Star Control is released.
Oh, Star Control, is that the
game? Played the shit out of that game.
Yes.
Is it the game where like
the spaceships, and you shoot each other?
You could play against each other, and they make the funny, those hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to love to use the little guy and blow up myself next to you and just destroy your ships.
Yes.
But that was so much fun. That game, we would play each other. One versus.
I actually played the full version. Like there was the melee that it was called. I used to say melee because I didn't know how you said it back then. But you could fight against each other, and then they actually had a full like game that you could play, like Star System.
Like a campaign.
Oh yeah.
I played both. I love that game. I played the game to death.
Yeah. It was
that game's such great memories. Yeah.
A wide array of ships that all have their own special little abilities that are good or bad. It's a very balanced game. Played like asteroids in a way where you just fly through space and shoot your lasers and rockets. And you had ships that had momentary shields. You had ships that are quicker, ships that are slower that had really powerful weapons. You'd had to really, use your head to really, win in matches that it could get to. So
it was ahead of its time in its way of finding a balance like that.
For sure,
especially in like a PvP element.
Absolutely. And the 1v2 is just it was a lot of fun. It was ahead of its time. Also for let's see, the Sega Genesis on December 19th, Quackshot was released. Quackshot was a Donald Duck game, and we had that one for the Sega Genesis as well. And that was a game that I remember playing and liking. Like the first level, I could play that one pretty well, but I actually had no idea how to progress through the game. And after years just randomly playing it, I somehow managed to progress. And then we figured it out to the point where we actually beat the game. But it took us years. There was no guide. There's no online. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It was literally the most confusing thing in the world. There was no rhyme or reason why you had to go to someplace. There was no dialogue.
I remember that game.
Quackshot. Yeah.
Quackshot?
Yeah, you had like a plunger gun you'd shoot. It was really cool, and you could bounce off the plunger handle and stuff like that. It was really neat in terms of like mechanics.
A fun game.
But I had no fucking clue what to do. Oh god, but we finally beat it after years. And for the last game I'm gonna mention here, on September 18th for the Nintendo, TMNT Turtles in Time is released. Classic game. Hell yeah.
The side-scrolling fighter.
Isn't that the one we first played on like an arcade, like at like Walmart or something? Is that the same one, or is that a different one?
Well, they're very similar. It's hard. I can't remember. I know there was one that was like that. There was also one that was like, I can't remember the name of the pizza place. We'd go after like T-ball games. There was that same arcade. That was the Ninja Turtles arcade game was awesome. It had like 6 like different people could join at once. You kept like Splinter and April O'Neil and all the
like
turtles.
A Pizza Hut, wasn't it?
It was like a Pizza Hut. Yeah, it might have been Pizza Hut.
Was that Pinocchio's Pizza?
Might have been Pinocchio's Pizza. Might have been.
Oh,
old time.
Long time ago.
Yeah. But no, just classics. Huge Turtles fan. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Ninja Turtles 2 was released in '91, and it was released like. Let me look this real quick here, and then we'll get to worst video games. But I believe it was so rushed that it yeah, it's in 1991. It's literally so like Turtles. The first one came out in March of '90, and like latter of '91, Turtles 2 came out, and that's why they had Vanilla Ice, which is why his album stayed atop the charts. Which is why all that shit happened. But yeah, so they rushed it out, and in the beginning, Jim Henson had died between 90 and 91, somewhere between there, so that there's a dedication to Jim Henson at the beginning of the Ninja Turtles. All right, so now we'll move to the worst video game of 1991. I actually have one this time, and it's a game that was released on May 27th for the Nintendo. It's called Action 52, and Action 52 is an unlicensed multi-cart video game compilation developed by Active Enterprise for the Nintendo. The multi-cart consists of 52 games in a variety of genres, mostly scrolling shooters and platformers. 52 games for this in a Nintendo cartridge. Could you imagine? One game isn't really that great. They've got 52 of them. The featured game is The Cheetahman, which was part of Active's attempt to create a franchise similar to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The NES version of Action 52 includes games that cover a variety of genres. The most common types being vertical shooters set in outer space and platformers. The games have major programming flaws. Some of them freeze or crash. Other issues include incomplete or endless levels, confusing design, and unresponsive controls. Each game is given a brief description in the manual for Action 52. Some of the descriptions cover games from the early development of Action 52 that were very different from the games of corresponding titles. For example, Jigsaw is described as a game involving a jigsaw puzzle, but the game titled as such on the final product is a platformer involving a construction worker avoiding construction tools. Jigsaw. The Cheetahman is a featured game that was intended to launch a multimedia franchise and accompanying line of merchandise. A Cheetahman animated television series, a comic book series, and T-shirts were planned. An advertisement for action figures, which included concept art, appeared in a promotional comic book included in the Action 52 package. However,
shut the fuck up, man.
This was never put into practice due to extremely negative reviews Action 52 received. Active Enterprises advertised a contest involving Ooze, one of the games of Action 52. Players who could complete level 6 of the game could enter a drawing for $104,000, $52,000 in cash, and a scholarship with the same value. Ooze was reported to consistently crash on level 2. Therefore, it was impossible to qualify for the contest without using an emulator.
Was this game made by Trump?
After the contest had been canceled, a second version of Action 52 was released, which fixed this crashing problem. So yes, they had a contest that no one could do because the game crashed at level 2. Go to level 6. Yeah. Oh god. And that would do it for 1991. Thanks, guys. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a good conversation. Thank you, John, for joining us. Good to have you on. Good to have you on. All right. And with that, I hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation, and will join us again for another installment of History with Hersefat. Don't forget to hydrate, exercise, and to like and subscribe to the podcast. All these things are essential for your health and well-being. Take care of yourselves and each other.